All right, I'm live this morning. Just doing a little inking here over Rob's stuff. Checking out Jimmy Reyes' new crowquill for Clip Studio Paint to see how that's going to do. Nice variation in line weight on this quill. It's got a pretty good balance to it. What do I want to do there? Okay. Inking in the morning. Rob's got a new batch of pages coming soon. I still got some odds and ends left on these. I want to get them squared away before I go into the new batch. All the odds and ends. I gotta say, I'm real impressed with this Jimmy Reyes crowquill. It's performing real nicely. Now, me, I don't know about, but the quill works good. Yeah. Well, looks like I got a viewer. From the look of it, from what YouTube says here, not going to be much talking. Sorry, not what to say today. Just trying to get this. Yeah, this new Reyes crowquill, I gotta say. Like I thought the last one he had was pretty good. I gotta say, I like this a little better. I'm able to hear some color-in-law. She talks to the news. Way back. There we go. Mm. Nope, I don't like any of that. Uh, nope. There we go. That's better. No, don't like that. Nope, taking that out too. Mm, thinking I'm done with that arm. Do another layer, and then I will save. Alright. No, on second thought. I'm just gonna drop a shadow underneath there. Mm. Maybe not. And her eye is bugging me. There we go. That's better. Okay. Save often. That's what it is. It's bugging me about that. Duplicate this layer. Turn that one off. Yeah, I think that's an improvement. Just a little tweak. But I will go ahead and keep that out of the layer just in case. And I'll save again. I guess there's going to be dialogue towards the top of this panel. I don't know. I'm not crazy about leaving that background just completely untouched, though. It's a completist in me. I always think about artwork in terms of black and white like that. I do like this new quill. Okay. Let's do some of her hair. Jesus, so fine it. Hey, someone's saying, what's going on? I'm doing a little inking this morning, trying to get this stuff squared away. Mm. Oh, wow. I love this new quill. I love that. Listening to my stream to distract me from adulting. Well, unfortunately, I haven't been saying a lot. Of course, there was nobody in the chat, so. But yeah, I'm just inking away this morning. Hmm. Using my stream to avoid adulting. I avoid adulting whenever I can too. Whole reason I became an artist, to tell you the truth. Mm, like, what? You get to sit and draw comic books and they'll pay you? As soon as I heard about that when I was a kid, okay. That's the gimmick right there. Mm, nope. Yeah, it looks great in the brochure, man. I'm like, wow, it couldn't be a cooler job than that. What? And they're gonna, like, at the time, it was like they're handing out big money to people. Like, I read, I remember reading, I was like a senior in high school or something, and they put out the Man of Steel trade paperback by John Byrne at the time, and it talked about how he spent his weekends trolling around in a Jaguar, a really nice Jaguar with like right hand drive and British plates, I remember it said. And he spent that time tooling around in that car with his wife, and they were looking for antiques to fill up their 14-room house. And I was like, oh my God. You know, I grew up in a trailer in New Mexico, so I have a lot of layers in Clip Studio. That's just my process of it. That's not typical for Clip Studio Paint, and It's just kind of my work method. The reason I've got so many layers, first of all, is you can see here where my cursor is, where it's got the individual frames. Those are the panels. And then each of the layers in them, see, I will kind of separate stuff off. Like this way, I've got a whole, actually, there's a couple layers in the fist hair layer, and I can just turn it on and off. And then that way, once that's done, I can just lock that. So, but yeah, once I can lock that layer, I don't really worry about it too much until later on. It does make it kind of hard to sort it out sometimes. Like, what is it that's showing and what is it that isn't again? And did I already ink that? Let's check all the layers and see. That and I have a hotkey. That and I have a hotkey set up um, to create a new layer, like on the fly. Um, and I have plenty of RAM on this machine, so having a bunch of layers open isn't a real problem. It's probably a real RAM hog though, and if I didn't have as good a machine as I've got going on at the moment, it it would probably give me some shit. I am so pleased with this Jimmy Reyes quill. I can't even tell you. I- I'm gonna break down, actually ink a plant by hand. I haven't been doing any of that. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. This new crowquill that Jimmy Reyes has got with his Clip Studio paint brushes set is really doing a nice job for me. And I really didn't have to, like lots of brushes, I will tweak them a bit, customize them. All I did was decrease the size of this one because he starts out with, like the broadest setting, like a 30 or something like that. And I'm in here inking really small details, so I decreased the brush size quite a bit. Whatever I need to do to keep the control. But yeah, it's giving me these really teeny tiny lines. Very happy with it. I liked the quill he had going on, but this is an improvement, I will say. Nope, don't like that. Mm, okay, I think that panel is pretty well complete. And since I am trying to get stuff squared away, I think I'm gonna pretty much ink it and leave it as is. Everything else done on this page except for this panel here. That last panel I will probably be inking analog. Had to create a specific brush preset. I'm using Inkrita with looking for a specific feeling I was comfortable with. Hey, does will Krita like convert brushes from other programs? Like one of the nice things that I'm looking at with Clip is that it'll pretty much translate a Photoshop brush into a Clip brush, and then you can tweak it a little more from there and get it just right. I've done that several times with Photoshop brushes. I guess Procreate will do that too. It'll take Clip Studio brushes and translate them into Procreate brushes. But yeah, I mean, if Krita will do that, I gotta say I can't recommend Jimmy Reyes' brush set enough. Really the best brush set, and I've tried a lot of brush sets from Clip Studio Paint, and there's several that are good, but yeah, Jimmy Reyes' set is the best one in my opinion. Let's save that. Still got some stuff to do on this page here. That's cool. Yeah, I sure how Clip Studio Paint. I think it exports them as SUT files. I think it exports them as SUT files. And I'm just looking at this now, and I'm not as crazy about these dots as I was. Maybe if I change the frequency a little bit. There we go. That's a little smoother. What if I do lines instead? And uh, I think I like the lines better than the dots. Mm, yeah, I definitely like the lines better than the dots. Smoother. I think with mini packs, it pulls the brush image, but may lose some of the settings. Yeah, that's a lot of the problem when you go ahead and translate brushes from one software to another. A lot of times you'll have to come in and play with it a little bit to get it to work right. But it is better than just, hey, guess what? You can't do anything with that. All right, let's see. Get these right here and erase that. And erase that. And create a new layer. And then I will save. Okay, and I'm going to come in here and do these little gems that he's got. Hey, hang on a second. I gotta go check on something. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. Sorry about that. I like to leave everybody in the lurch, but I don't want to end the stream when I'm just getting up for a minute. So, yeah. Go ahead and work on these gems. Oh, wow. I cannot believe this crowquill. It works like a real quill. Crazy. And not only that, but Jimmy, knowing what he's doing and knowing good art supplies and what things used to be like not only does it work like a crowquill does, but it works the way crowquills used to work on 30-year-old paper. That nice slick shit we used to get. All right. Yeah, I think I use a lot of layers, include studio paint, just because I'm still somewhat unfamiliar with it. And with ink, it's a lot of times it's easier to just not screw something up to begin with than it is to screw something up and try to correct it. So using layers is perfect for that because if you're not sure you're going to be able to do it right, you just come in and lay in a brand new layer, and then that way everything that you've got isn't going to be touched by about what you're about to do. So if you blow it, you haven't screwed anything up that you already have. So that's one of the biggest pains of trying to correct ink is can you correct it? Can you go back over it? And then can you can you do all that without screwing up the stuff that you like that you've got? So it can be a real challenge sometimes. So Clip Studio Paint can make it real easy in that regard. Like, see, I don't have to worry about messing up these reflections because if I run into the holding line around these gems, the holding line is on a different layer. So, hey, there's Rob. I learned how to do metal by looking at Bob Layton's Iron Man at first. And then, of course, I was real influenced by the way Scott Williams and Richard Bennett both handled metal. Um, so yeah, I was a real big fan of Iron Man by Bob Layton when I was a kid. Um, and nobody could do metal like Bob Layton could. Uh, so since he was the best at it, that's what I had to try to emulate. No, I'm still screwing that up. There we go. Smooth that. Oh shit. Thank you. Little bloops and stuff like that that show up. Mm. I was also very influenced by the way Mike Grell handled armor and metal reflections in both Warlord and Star Slayer back in the late 70s, early 80s. Rob's got to go work. That's all right. The stream will be up later. I'll have it up and you can check it out. Okay, keep forgetting which tool I'm using there. Thanks for stopping in to say hi, Rob. Appreciate that. I know they got you on the clock over there. You got stuff to go do. Someone saying say he's hiding from work. Hey, guess what? Me too. That's why I became an artist. I thought this would be an easy way to make a living when I was a kid. I was wrong, of course. But occasionally it can be more fun than working a regular job. But yeah, if I had to do it all over again, that's the trouble. You meet artists and stuff. They come up and ask you for advice. And the best advice I can give them, like, go do something else. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say that. I'm just like, this, like, man, I know this seems like an easy gig, and I know it seems like it's going to be fun, but I'm telling you, they find a way to make it enough of a pain in the ass to where it really isn't. I know that's not what you want to hear, but I wouldn't advise anybody getting into comics. The only people that I encourage to deal with comics are people that are pretty much already doing it. Like if Rob wasn't doing this under his own steam, and he was telling me like some of these guys do, like oh I want to get in comics and be a comic artist and be popular like Jim Lee or Capullo or somebody like that. Like man, I hear people say stuff like that. I'm like, get that out of your head. Get that out of your head. I have known enormously talented people that I've met in the process of working in the industry. And they worked as hard as anybody that I knew. And it wasn't enough. They still had to go do something else. So, yeah, unless you're like one of these people like me or like Rob that's like, okay, I'm that kind of nut that I'm just doing this for fun. And if somebody manages to pay me, that's cool. If not, I'm probably going to do it for fun anyway. To some degree, that's the way it is. Not to say I don't want to be paid for my work, but you know, yeah, people being in the right place at the right time. Honestly, I don't. That whole thing is like, out of all the people that I have known in the industry, I know a handful that I know for sure aren't hurting, aren't on the edge, aren't, they're cozy. They don't have to worry about it. Just a handful. And pretty much it's the same handful of people that I knew that were in that position before I even got in the business. So, like, yeah, I don't think, I don't think, you know, the Image 7 guys, I don't think any of those guys have anything to worry about in terms of cash flow. Um, Maybe not. Certainly some of those guys may not be doing as well as they were at one point, but I don't know. But yeah, for the most part, I tell people that yeah, don't get into comics, man. Don't do this. Like, go do a regular job. I know it's not what you want, but I'm telling you, you'll be happier. Why is that doing? Oh, okay, that's why. All right, because I'm not choosing the right brush. That's why. Okay. Uh, yeah, Rob likes what I'm doing this metal. That's cool. I like doing metal. Will Smite. Oh, yeah. Well, Will's financial position. I don't know. I he's doing shows as far as I know. I don't like to speculate on that kind of stuff. People are doing as well as they're doing. You don't know what kind of tragedies have hit them or anything else. So, But yeah, as far as I know, most of the people that like the Image 7, they're probably still doing well enough. Um, but other than that, I don't really know anybody that personally that does that did well in comics. Everybody else still seems to be sort of hit or miss, feast or famine. You know, kind of bullshit. Like that layer up. Put down another one here. Get back to work, man. You're gonna get canned. All right, we'll see you someone soon. Thanks for stopping in, man. Glad I could help you avoid. Mm, I guess so. Uh, Not looking like it. Okay. I do that sometimes. Ink stuff twice. No. Okay. Nope, not taking that. You either. You gotta go too. All right. Okay. Not entirely satisfied with this tree, but eso sí que es. You know? No. Don't go that far. There we go. Mm, save again. Wrong page. Okay, and we're gonna do nothing on this layer, so do a border effect. Oh shit. Okay. There we go. And that's why we use multiple layers. Alright. Take two with that. Nope. Alright. Alright. Okay. Okay. Looks like I got these gems to do on this other side, and that'll be it for that panel anyway. I'm gonna create a new layer and save. I keep trying to open that page to look at it. And it's this page I'm trying to focus on. Hey, Jeff, you and I appreciate that. I am influenced by Joseph Rubinstein. So I take that as a high compliment. Influenced by Rubinstein, Jansen, um, Scott Williams, of course. So yeah, I am definitely thinking about Joe and Joe's work when I ink. My favorite stuff over him is he did a great run on the X-Men, and also I liked his work quite a bit on Captain America over John Byrne. Some of my favorite stuff to this day. In fact, if they wanted to pick up and continue from where they left off, they had a disagreement with Jim Shooter at the time, and I guess Roger Stern quit the book, and then Byrne quit in solidarity to with Roger, from what I understand. Um, and they ended up moving on with Mike Zeck and Mark Grunwald later, things like that. And that we can't take anything from that run too. But I've always been curious to see what Roger Stern and John Byrne would have done with that book had they continued on. I agree. I think that Rubenstein had a much more organic feel than Terry Austin did. Terry Austin was great. I'm not going to take anything away from Terry Austin, but yeah, I felt like as far as making the people look like they were living, breathing people, Rubenstein did a better job. Um, you know, really, by the time they quit the run with Byrne Lawson at the beginning, when they stopped with issue 143. After that, as far as I'm concerned, the team kind of fizzled. I didn't like what Terry Austin was doing as well over Byrne anymore. They had both evolved to the point where I didn't think it worked for the most part. There were exceptions, but I think it worked pretty well up until Uncanny 143, and then after that, like man, when they parted ways, it was They both went their separate ways, stylistically as well. Okay, well, I've been over here a little over an hour. I'm gonna wrap up this stream for the moment. I may come back and stream some more a little later on today, trying to get this stuff squared away. If I do come back, they'll probably be working on this top panel. Yeah, I may come back and stream a little bit more. I'm just gonna take a break. I'll probably be back here in a couple hours. Anyway, anybody out there still watching? Jeff Yoon, if you're still out there, anybody else? Thanks for tuning in and sharing some time with me today. Hey, I'm glad you like seeing the process because it's really all I got to show, man. So, anyway, thanks for joining me. I will probably pop back in a little later on today, um, and I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.